Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Unusual start to this video, but I've made a bit of a muck up. This first clip that you'll see should have been in the other part where I was dodging the drips from Arthur watering. So it involves me chatting to Arthur, so I thought I'd just leave the sound on and stick it on the front of this one. And then there's another section of it following on from that where I'm chatting to Lynn, because there's a little seated area at the start of that particular nursery glasshouse where Lynn was sitting down checking some things on her phone, and that's when I found the Giesbergianum, or however it's pronounced, and pointed that out to her, so she came and grabbed that. And then I'll switch to doing a voiceover for the rest of it, because Lynn went back to sitting down and Arthur was in a totally different place, so there was nobody to talk to. So the soundtrack would involve me scrunching on the gravel, which is not very interesting, so I'll switch to a voiceover at that point. I've just got this little bit to do, and then all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But there's no way I can walk past these without filming them.
No, they look superb, don't they?
I've got Harveyanum, which is similar,
It is
but the
similar.
feathery bits are also on the sepals as well as the lip,
Yeah.
but much smaller blooms than that. So I've managed to get one drip on my hand so
Well
far,
done.
several on me, but as I said, I'll dry out.
Don't see it come the Westwick's going to be though, look, because I'm just doing these.
No, it's all right. I'm done at this point. You know those Ginsbergianum thingies that you said there aren't any of?
Yeah.
There's one here.
Is it?
And it's in flower.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, there's a little row of them tucked in there. They're only small plants, but they do exist.
Wow.
You just got to have one, haven't you?
Seen the price?
What is it? 20 for a small plant. Yes. But then it's in bloom and we'll always add a fiver on.
But do you know what? I'm having it. Oncidium noellianum. What the hell's that? Noellianum. Bright orange flower. That's a cool, really like a cool one.
Is this a Fias or whatever they're called?
Oh, that looks like a five, yeah.
Well, that's good because I've got the base of the plant up to the bloom, because somebody asked me how big it might grow and I said probably up to your ceiling.
It looks like it, but...
It looks very much like it. These are delicate little beauties,
They're stunning, aren't they?
but relative to the size of the stem they just don't look right.
No.
You know, huge big fat. If that had been a lovely spindly archy stem with those little delicate blooms, it would look lovely. But it's out of proportion somehow. Oh. Well, it caught my eye. I don't think there was much else in bloom up here, quite honestly. Got some Regnelli eyes. Okay, and we're back with a voiceover now, so I'll just sort of talk through the rest. I didn't film all of the nursery glasshouses because there's an awful lot of areas that are just green. You know, okay, there's some pretty fabulous plants, especially these hanging from the roof, but they're all the same, you know. So this area is more for the enthusiast than you know, perhaps the more amateur ones. So there's one for Todd here, Miltonia flavescens. Sorry, my mistake. Miltonia flavescens in bloom. I had one of those for years and it never bloomed for me. Still, they obviously do bloom, some there. And then just wandering back now, this is, as I say, these are the plants that are being grown on. They're staged out in this area in different sizes, clustered together with the number of plants there are. I see that in the distance there is the area where Lynn was sitting. But in amongst these sort of sales bits are the odd specimen plant still sitting there that isn't actually for sale. All the ones for sale have got a pink tag with a price. If they haven't got one of them, then they're not for sale. Big Kingianum sat there. So yeah, that's what all this greenery is here. Basically, it's it's just the younger plants to buy and grow on. And as they're not in bloom, they go for a reasonable price. The prices go up if they're in bloom. They always do. Lynn sat there quietly. Right, we're into the sales area now. So there was an awful lot of these cymbidiums sitting there looking very nice. And part of the sales area is also tagged on the end of the other nursery glasshouse, and lovely vandas at the start of this area. Not cheap though, sort of 40-45 pounds these are. But some good variety of blooms here. So nice little area to look at. And then this is the other nursery glasshouse. There was so little in bloom I didn't even bother going down there. This is an overflow area, so this is still part of the sales area really, but it's not out in the sales area. And they do sell other plants apart from orchids, not many, but there are some lurking. And then as you come sort of through this frame background here, you get into the sales area proper again. Some lovely cymbidiums here. I think some of these might have been species. I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't look at names. As I say, it was getting late now. I was getting to nearly to the panic stage where time was going to run out and we were going to get kicked out, and I hadn't done all my filming, so I was getting a bit of a move on. Oncidium hybrid types tucked in here. Nice dancing lady type. Probably sweet sugar. That's the common one that lurks around. There's a centre aisle here totally devoted to these things, Sweet Memory or Leodora or something like that, or both, I don't know. They had some lovely Phalaenopsis type dendrobiums. This, I kept looking at it, it's not a very good plant, and it was so close to the one I've got I left it there. I think Lynn came home with one of the Phalaenopsis dendrobiums. These were all Sarnook ones, and some very nice ones there. Catatantes all over the place. The place was crawling with them. There were loads, as you can see. There were loads all over the place, and a couple more Oncidium type hybrids here. And then they had some lovely Miltoniopsis. Plants weren't that good. These would have been bought in. These aren't. I doubt if these are nursery grown. They might be, don't get me wrong, but I think these may well have been bought in. They're in that area where most of the plants are bought in rather than nursery grown. So, but this one's a beauty, this dark one. And then more Catatantes. As I said, they're all over the place. It was overrun with Catatantes. And then rows of Phalaenopsis along here. Various colours, varieties, sizes, all staked or done in a loop, all that sort of stuff. These are all mass produced. These aren't grown in the nursery. Sarah buys these in for for the people who buy those sort of plants, windowsill growers, people who are not necessarily orchid growers with greenhouses and all that sort of stuff. They still like to have some orchids, So there were quite a few of these zygos around. But, I didn't like that. I found that wishy-washy, so that stayed there. Nice bulbo again. And yes, whatever that is, it's nice, but I don't know what it is. That's some more bulbos. And then round the corner, and that's it. That was the end of the filmed trip, ending on a nice brassica. See you next time.